Welcome back to Bound News Network. We're actually working on our Perfect English Grammar series. This is Volume 1, Chapter 5. We're actually starting to cover a lot more, a little bit more heavy, more difficult words as we prepare for our training here for our TOEFL and a SAT. If you're enjoying these chapters and this volume, this series, as far as helping you to perfect your grammar, please by all means subscribe and also click that like button and hit the notification bell so these lessons can actually get out to a lot more people who are aspiring to go to college and, of course, live their dreams and so forth. So, as we get into this series, we're going to be taking a closer look at idioms, and we're also going to be taking a closer look at some multiple choice questions where we're matching synonyms as we get more into more heavy duty words and we start to increase our vocabulary in preparation for the exams. We're going to be actually taking a closer look at synonyms simply because when we make the association as we are doing, I'm hoping that those who are following are actually using the shuffle cards where you have the definition on one side of the card and then you have the synonym on the other side, and by using our shuffle method, you'll be able to make that association, and it will allow you to study for the exam because you can have hundreds of cards at one time and simply have them in shuffle so that your brain is able to wrap around each word and start using it in practice. And once you start using it in practice, and practice makes perfect, like they always say. So here we go, and we're going to be taking a look here at some of the idioms with respect to these are just general phrases that have multiple meanings. Also, they're a little bit tricky. Sometimes they will appear on the TOEFL and SAT. So as we go through, we're going to be taking a closer look at what the more popular ones that may appear on the exam. So very quickly, we can go over 1 through 4, and we will keep highlighting a handful of them as we go through the lessons. We're not going to do a lot of them at once because a lot of times, especially for international students, it can be a little bit hard to get to understand exactly um, the difference as far as what it actually means. So one here is a couch potato, someone who is lazy. It's time to stop being such a couch potato. Also, we have a very popular idiom that may appear on the exam, cut her some slack, which means go easy on her. A sample sentence would be give her some time to pick a college and cut her some slack. And also, we have jump on the bandwagon, which is a definition commonly known as joining a popular movement or going with the crowd. And a sample sentence would be her parents were surprised she jumped on the bandwagon and supported the VP. And for our fourth idiom for today, let the cat out of the bag. That means to disclose a secret. And as you can see, with these definitions don't necessarily match up with the idiom, and that's why they're a little bit hard to grasp, especially for test takers where English is their second language. But practice makes perfect, and it's good for us to take a look at a handful of these, which with each lesson, and we won't inundate you with too many of them at once. You can actually create your own shuffle cards with these idioms. You probably will probably cover anywhere from 30 to 50 of them, just in the event that they may appear on any of the tests. So for the fourth one, let the cat out of the bag. Definition to disclose a secret, and he let the cat out of the bag and told his brother about the party. So that will be our coverage for idioms for today. We do want to take a look at some other elements that are going to be pretty important as far as just taking a quick look at some of the synonyms that we've already covered so far. and we've covered quite a few. And it would be a good idea for us to take a close look, just to quickly brush up on definitions and synonyms, and that will allow us to test our recall powers for the exam. So here we have just a handful we're going to take a look at, and we've covered these words in our previous chapters. We are now on chapter 5, so by all means take this opportunity to refresh some of the previous words that we covered in the previous chapters. You can simply just go back and take a look at the definitions that we looked at. We're going to take a look at 12 new words today, and we're going to continue to take a look at more and more words, which will allow you to increase your shuffle card set and increase your working vocabulary preparation for the test. So this is a matching synonym exercise. So for number one, stoic, the options are skilled, predictive, indifferent, and calm. So skilled, predictive, indifferent, and calm. For number two, fallacious, um, options are intense, pretend, incorrect, or logical as a synonym. And fine, options are pretend, assist, instinct, or fascinate. Accolade for number four would be conduct, honor, independent, or resources. And a common definition, a synonym association for adept would be pander, simple, skilled, articulate. And then we have albeit, which would be options for A, color, B, although, smart for C, and timely for D. So these are, you can actually just do a quick print screen and test your recall skills as far as your ability to just verify that you know the matching synonym for these six. There's a good likelihood that you may see one or more of these words on any of these exams, and you can always keep your print screen handy when you're preparing to study for the exam. One of the things we wanted to actually take a look at too would be multiple choice test question formats. That is one of the elements that we're going to be looking at more in depth now that as they go into more chapters, we can actually see exactly the formatting for these exams. It would be good for you to start taking a closer look at the format for the multiple choice questions as far as, and also fill in the blanks. The more practice you get, the better you're going to get on the exam. You quite possibly see that even some of the sentences that we construct in practice of using the words that we learn here in this volume and chapters could very well possibly end up on the exam. So it's better for you to actually know them, have them in your repertoire going into the exam. And as we get closer and closer to over 100 words that we cover, from what we narrowed down as possibilities from based on previous exams, then this will increase your likelihood of scoring better on the exam. So let's just take a quick look at one of the practice questions here. We can see, let's take a look here at a multiple choice question. Due to climate change and other factors, the water level of Lake Mead is at its lowest point in many years. And as the drought continues to escalate, it is very likely that more water will continue to evaporate from the lake. So in this case, the word evaporate in this passage is closest in meaning to the choices release for A, B would be expand, C disappear, and D condense. And if we take another look at another practice question really quickly, the farmers in Oklahoma were praying for more rain. However, when the rain finally arrived, the fields were inundated with so much precipitation that crops were lost. To keep the land fertile for the next season, the farmers installed canals for drainage. So the word fertile in this passage is closest in meaning to the following options: A, rich; B, plentiful; C, adverse; and D, enlightened. So those are the options. So we want to take a closer look at just a few practice questions, and we're going to take a lot more practice with actual preparation of passages and looking at more complicated words and their meanings and their synonyms. Quite possibly in the test, you will actually see the synonym of a word, so you have to recall the definition and vice versa. So it's good preparation and practice for you to actually prepare for the exam with a matching synonym exercise coupled with actual passages that you can actually use and skills that you can use as far as increasing your comprehension skills going into the test. So we definitely wanted to take a look at that going into chapter 5 of this first volume. We're going to expand our vocabulary today with 12 more words, and here we go. Agile, and the usage would be: there are many agile executives on the train today. A common synonym would be frisky. It's an adjective meaning able to move quickly, rapidly. Adverb would be agility, and noun would be agility. Arduous, arduous. Usage: it's an arduous affair to go to the DMV and renew a license. Adjective meaning very difficult or challenging. Arduous, synonym would be challenging. Adverb: arduously. Noun: arduousness. Benign, the usage: the scar on his face was later discovered to be a benign mole. Adjective meaning not doing any harm or any kind of harm or damage. So those are the first three in the set that we're looking at this particular time. Our next set we're actually looking at here would be burgeon, and usage: the farmer burgeoned his crops with fertilizer to increase profits. In this case, it's a verb, so the meaning is to grow really fast, and an applicable synonym would be prosper, and an adjective would be burgeoning. And discrepancy usage: the accountant found many discrepancies during the audit. Noun meaning differences or inconsistencies, and a synonym for this would be inconsistency, and basically is highlighting the fact that there are differences between what should be equal, elements that should be equal, but there are differences that are found. Illicit usage: the journalist had a great job to elicit the facts about the crime. Verb meaning to get the facts about something or to extract. A synonym would be extract, and a noun would be elicitation. And our next set of words that we're going to be learning today would be engender. And when we take a look at the meaning for engender, the usage: the engineer worked hard to engender his vision of the motor. And in this case, it's a verb. Cause to exist, a synonym: produce, meaning to bring into existence. Engross usage: the retired veteran told his family that he's completely engrossed in reading his newspaper every morning. Verb meaning to be completely absorbed. And you should write down that a synonym for this would be engage, and noun would be engrossment, or adjective would be engrossing, or even a noun, which would be possible, would be engrossment. Evaporate usage: the man said that the morning dew evaporates very quickly. Verb meaning to disappear or vanish. In this case, A noun would be evaporation, and a synonym would be disappear. And then when we take a look at paramount, perilous, and scarcely, we can see that paramount usage, it is of paramount importance that we fight crime in the city. An adjective, meaning of highest importance. Perilous, paramount as far as a synonym would be foremost. That would be a good attachment synonym for paramount. Perilous usage, it's a very perilous journey for people to climb Mount Everest. Adjective, meaning very dangerous or threatening. A synonym to write down to attach a word association to perilous would be dangerous. And then we have scarcely usage. When the police found the girl in the subway, she said that she was lost, but she scarcely spoke a word. This word can be used in a lot of different ways, as you can see. Um, as far as a noun, scarcity, and a synonym would be not yet or almost not, or not not at this time, scarcely, or not expressed, or not expressed. So we're just going to take as we can see, we've taken a quick look at some of the different types of idioms today. We're actually jumping into doing more multiple choice questions, matching for synonyms. We want to make sure that all of our test takers who are using these volumes to prepare for the exam and try and digest some of the more common words that they may find with their tricky synonyms. They're actually using the shuffle cards, as we showed you, for making that definition to synonym association, which is going to be very important because it will allow you to digest the definitions very, very quickly, giving you more of a real world association to the definition. And it will also increase your comprehension, reading and writing comprehension of paragraphs and phrases going forward if you're able to know very tricky synonyms for common words that may appear on the test. So we definitely wanted to thank you for tuning in to Chapter 5 of Volume 1. We're actually covering a lot more vocabulary now, and we're going to step it up so that you can continue to increase your shuffle cards in preparation for the exam. We do hope that all of this testing and test prep format is assisting you. We're going to focus a lot on multiple choice questions as well as fill in the blank formats, which is the exact format that you will face in the exam. So why not do it on training and prep as you prepare for the exam, increasing your vocabulary, increasing your word comprehension. Well, definitely hit the notification bell so that you'll be ready for Chapter 6 in Volume 1, where we're sure you will bring you more useful vocabulary words. We'll look at their synonyms. We'll also take a look at doing some more matching of synonyms to test your recall powers, and also help you with actually reading through actual passages that may appear in one form or another, very, very similar to what you'll see on the test. So that is actually Chapter 5. Thank you for tuning in. And as always, click that notification bell if you'd like to join us for Chapter 6 as soon as it's available. Have a good day. Thank you.